Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and we are here to do our review of Love After Lockup, Season 6, Episode 10. Is it Baby Girl's Arrival? Oh my God. I know you lying. Y'all, let's get into it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, to my new listening and viewers. All of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie to rise. Sweet old. It's time for auntie to rise. It's time for auntie to rise.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Let's get into this, shall we? If I had to rate this finale of Love After Lockup, season 6, episode 10, I would probably rate this finale a 3. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section what you all were rated. We're gonna get in here and get into it. Y'all make sure y'all got your notification bells on because the next one I'm gonna be doing immediately after this one, y'all gonna want to be here for it. Okay? I got a little season finale surprise for y'all. But let's get into it as we get into it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. So we saw the aftermath of the breakup between Michael and Joey. And so Joey is, of course, a broken-hearted downtown at his mother's house. In the meantime, we see Michael. He meets up with his friend Spencer. And Spencer seems to really not have liked Joey. He told Michael that he didn't see a connection between the two of them. And so, the two of them they had their little drink and stuff like that. For some reason, I felt like Spencer was more in Michael's life than he let on to be, right? And so I don't know. But he, had a drink with him and all of that kind of stuff. And, it just is what it was, right? And so, back at the ranch, we see Michael talking to his mother. He's brokenhearted. And his mother, basically says, if I could take that pain away from you, I would absolutely take the pain away, but I can't take the pain away. And so, he's going through, being brokenhearted and stuff like that. He says that he hasn't, talked to Michael or anything like that. And so, his mother said that, basically Michael was a trickster. And so Joey, really has to learn how to love himself and all that. He has a fear of, being old and not having anybody. And I think that, a lot of people who are single, have that fear of really being alone all their life because unfortunately, like Joey doesn't have any kids or anything like that to cling on. But I think that Michael made the right decision by letting Joey go. I think that Michael really was using Joey, in my opinion, just mine. He was using him for his money and for him supporting him, putting, money on his books and stuff like that. I don't think that he ever was really attracted to Joey. Moreover, I think that it was an issue too that the two of them, was dating each other while they were on drugs. And so they don't know each other's sober. And Michael had already, said multiple times that he could not even trust himself, right? um, not going back on drugs. This was something that he was used to. He preferred the prison life and stuff like that. So we find out, through an interview with Joey that Michael is back in jail. And this is where Michael wanted to be. I mean, he did everything he could to go back to jail. He asked Joey whether or not he knew Michael was on drugs, and he said that Michael told him that he was. And so, unfortunately, unfortunately, right, for all of us who was rooting on him, but fortunately for him, he is back in jail based on drug charges, possession of drugs and possession of drugs and trying to distribute. So he'll be in jail until 2029. And I think that that's just really, really unfortunate. I truly do. The next couple that I want to talk about is Brooklyn and Brian. So we see Brian out there with his little friend. What's his name? Stevie or whatever his friend is, with like 26 minutes left to get to the home. And so, they decide, Brian tells him, I don't want to go into the strip club because his friend was, trying to take him on the strip club trip. One of the things that I think that I've noticed in this, I don't think that that was the first time that they had met one another. I think that that was all acting. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat because I thought that this was really acted out. I thought that the disrespect and the conversation that Brooklyn had with Brian's friend, she would have never had with no man she had just met the first time, and especially a black man. I don't care how bold she is, how many rolls she got on her stomach, and how flat her ass is and how inappropriate she dresses. I do not see her walking up on a black man and talking as disrespectfully as she did. I just don't see it. I think that they all knew each other. This was part of the plan. I don't believe that he had 1 minute left. I don't believe any of that, right? I can't go with the storyline. This guy is enamored with, being in the house with Basti. And Brooklyn. He wants to be a family man. Steve was telling him, in the van that, in the truck that, he was like, you got all these problems. And he was like, that's my problem. And he really does, like being a father. Of course, we know that, Brooklyn is going to sit down with him and go through the rigmarole and screaming and yelling and saying that, if it's not meant for her to be with him, she would let him go. Bullshit. She wouldn't let him go for her father. She wouldn't let him go for her brother. And she's certainly not going to let him go for any other circumstances under God's moon. Okay. She wants that man. And so, she, has a conversation with him. And, Brian is just like, basically, I'm used to being independent and being on my own and stuff like that. I don't need you doing all of that extra, you know what I mean? And she's like, okay, but I want you to be back home. I want you to be responsible for yourself and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, where's Brian working at? But anyway, I digress. The next day we see that, the little young girl is out there, cooking breakfast for her mother with Basti. While Brooklyn's laying in the bed asleep. Now, I know that there is a thin line between being paranoid and being safe. I would rather be both. I'm sorry, that's just where I am. Um, I have a baby girl, and that's where I'm at with that. Thank you so much, BB Blanding, for the 9.99 super chat. You're a blessing, and I have enjoyed all videos in the subscription. Thank you, boo. We going back to Diddy. I got kind of a little irritated, BB Blanding, but we'll be back with our shitty Diddy, okay? We will be back with our shitty Diddy reviews starting tomorrow, okay? Thank you so much, boo, for the super chat. Yeah, I'm just, I'm side eyeing all of this, and I like, yeah, 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 yeah. So she tells him that she had her menstrual cycle, because as we all know, the two of them was trying to have a baby together, and that did not work out between the two of them. And so, they're still trying to pursue that. They make breakfast in bed for her, and yeah, the fuck. The next person I want to talk about is Will and Courtney. So, of course, we are now back at the bus stop. And Will is leaving and saying, he, can't believe she treated him like that. Nick Nack Patty Red give a dog a bone. And he goes back to her right before she gets on the bus. They stage it that way. And Courtney, is like, Will is like, come on, let me drive you back to the halfway house. And so Courtney is like, there's no need for us to talk, Will. You don't believe anything I say. And so, as we all know, Will had exposed the fact that, she had all of this money. And so she said that, while she was in jail, she was able to collect $25,000 from different men that she was dating in prison and who was funding her. Courtney's argument with Will is if you let Will had indicated that, he was like, I'm not gonna, I made sure I didn't take care of her while she was in jail. And and Courtney said, but if you love me, you would have. And you know what, y'all, I agree with that. I think that if Will really loved Courtney the way that he said that he loved her, to the extent that he would marry her the day after she gets out of jail, he should have been taking care of her. He should not have thrown her to the wolves or to other men to get what she needed. And that just lets me know that he broke. He just don't have what he has. I think that he saved when she was coming, that, he had enough time to save and stuff like that. And that's why, he brought up the fact about her having it, because of course the two of them was fussing about money, but they didn't really have a relationship where it was a whole lot of controversy. So this was all that they could come up with. Bitch. Anyway, so they go back to the car, and the lady runs out and is like, "Hey, your sandwiches is ready." And he's like, "Can you wrap it up?" She tells him, "If we get in the car, we're not going to have a conversation about it." And next thing I know, they back at the hotel, right, getting ready to have sex. So here's the thing, y'all call me, right, if y'all need me to help y'all with some script writing. Okay, y'all call me. Because I think we starting to see through the bull, right? It just doesn't make sense that she would forgive him that fast. Plus, she was mad saying that, you know, she was angry with him because he thought that she would throw away her sobriety and her freedom. But bitch, I could have sworn at the end that Courtney back in jail. Am I wrong about that? I'm trying to think. I thought that Courtney was back in jail. Did we not see that at the end? Okay. I just was asking for a friend. So we got JK downtown at the girlfriend's house. Brooke is on her way because has been tracking him and knows that he's at the girl's house. So she left her job saying that she doesn't care about having a job or anything like that. No, what you don't care about is being fired because you work for your mama who has allowed you to act like an ass, have two little kids up in your household, and still want to get pregnant with another one. And dating some gummy mouth mother in jail. So we got it. So she's feeling like JK has broken her trust. Meantime, JK is down here at this girl's house, making it appear that he is a motherfucking prize, telling this young lady that she could have been the one or should have been the one picking him from jail, and that he had given her his all and would have given her everything, except for JK don't have shit. Now that would sound nice if this was coming out of a Rockefeller's mouth. However, it wasn't. It was coming out this month that looked like he got rocks in his mouth. There's nothing to offer to Brooke. But Brooke gonna get in a car, ball out, and drive like a bat out of hell to drive an hour to where this girl is. I think Brooke needs the money for filming. I don't think JK fucked with her one day outside of filming. He's at this girl's house, tearing this girl out down and telling her how he don't want to be with her and how she hurt him worse than he's ever been hurt because she went back while he was locked the fuck up in jail and made love to her ex-husband. But he says that he has this tape from the other girl. Y'all remember her? He has the tape from her where she confessed to it. I didn't hear her say that dude's name. And while you in jail, what is being faithful and unfaithful? So he goes all the way over to the hot girl's house to condemn her, to tear her down, to make her feel like she ain't nothing because she cheated on him. This motherfucker has been calling her since he got out of jail. Y'all, let's just talk about it. Since he got out of jail, he's been sneaking, using other people's cell phones and everything to make a phone call to this girl and gets in an Uber, goes all the way to her house to make her feel like shit. That doesn't even make sense on a good day. I think the girl acted with him. She said, you know what, JK, you don't want me? Go the fuck on. She goes out the house, she's crying and everything. And she was like, go be happy, JK. She tells him, let me give you a hug. He said, I can't. Thank God, because I did not want to smell that mildew, mealy mouth. JK's nobody's prize. They can't sell that to me. And so Brooke calls. Conveniently, while he's in the Uber, he answers the phone. Get on the phone with her and says that he's leaving a job interview. She's like, no, you're not. You were at Alex's house and I got proof of it because I'm tracking your ass. He said, so what am I, a dog? Let me tell you something. If he thought that that girl was tracking him and he didn't know, that motherfucker would have went off. See, these are the things. You can give a person a script, but you can't make them an actor or an actress. And your damn show can't make it believable. Make it believable. She said that she's on her way. She gonna drop her location. So if this is a motherfucker that knows how to follow a drop location, then why wasn't this same smart mother not able to assess and to check whether or not his phone was being tracked? So the two of them meet at some place. She comes in there with this fake ass outrage, says that she doesn't trust him, but she still wants to be in a relationship with him. They need to stop this old bull. Stop it. Stop. Stop it. This was. How can you go from last week to having a 4.5, almost a 5 rated show to just being a 3? This is the man right here. Damodric is the man of the motherfucking hour. Damodric need to train all these monks how to have multiple women at the same time, and it be all right with both of them. Damodric is the player from the Himalayas. Damodric is a bad mother without question. We saw the aftermath or the middle of the fight between the two of them, her throwing his stuff out the door. The next thing you know, we see Joella hanging up clothes. Look like she had been just freshly. I'm talking about before the shower. Walking around happy she got her family back together. She said she knew he would be back because he can't be without her. And I was like, oh my God. She said, I just want my family back. And that's what I got. Meantime, and in between time, we see him trying to be daddy of the year with a little boy that he said he ain't never seen before in his motherfucking life. He said that the baby was born. Damodric is a player. We see a Quiana doing what she do, sitting there moping at the bed, turning the picture down, bitch. It's over between them. She caught them cheating and she don't want them. He talk about he keep the kids while Joella go to work. And as a matter of fact, honey, the construction job that she thought that he had, Kenya, Ke, whatever her fucking name is, thought that he had was part time. And that's exactly what he was. He has the audacity to come to her house and ask her where they at. He like, we could go in, be together, whatever. Whoop. He been living with his father. And she says, how can we move forward when you keep moving backwards? He said, all right then. Then we ain't together no more. The shock that came over Kiana's face. She said, okay. You want your grandmother ring back? He said, yeah, but I'm going to drink your wine before I do that. I said, bitch. She throws him the ring. But guess what? He with both of them. He goes over there and plays daddy with Joella. And he plays escort with Quiana. And she says she don't want to overplay her hand and step out of pocket. But now both of the women have accepted the fact that they both won't be fucking them. And you mean to tell me that Damodric ain't the man? Damodric is the man with the plan in the promised land. And not only is he probably playing the two of them, because at this point they all got a goddamn open relationship. They both know that they both are fucking them. Excuse my language. Kenyatta got this false anger. So let me ask a question. Did you invite him to the cookout? You at the cookout drunk, acting an ass. But I'm wondering whether or not you wouldn't hang carried and sing a song outside, bitch, to get her invitation. Because now you saying I'm gonna play my lane. I ain't gonna go over. What the? And then grandpa trying to be grandpa, he'll play his damn self. They probably got 100 rings, 100 of grandma's rings. This is an heirloom from my grandmother. Would you know, this ain't this a promise. Bitch, you know how many promise rings they probably got down that mother. This was ridiculous. And guess what? He got 3 other babies. And he probably doing the same thing. And he working a part-time job at a construction site. I ain't got this to do. Y'all, this is the end of my review on this couple. I will be coming back next with a review of Julius and Alexis that y'all do not want to miss. Make sure your notification bells are on because we about to get a good old Kiki and Kaka. Give me about 30 minutes while I get in costume, bitch. Because I'm going to be in costume. And we going to do the damn thing. Love y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Bye, y'all.